don't think it's only celebrities going to be shook. He had politicians in there. He had princes in there. He also had a couple of preachers in there.
You personally, you think they got tapes?
Well, my personal opinion that if Lil Rob could be trusted and his statements are true, they got him. They got tapes of stuff.
Now, if Diddy had tapes, the feds have them. That's a lot of blackmail.
Yeah, whole lot of blackmail. And this thing, it's gonna be quite interesting, really, really interesting when all of this is actually finally released. Now, there is a rumor that's going on, and I'm gonna play this clip from Daniel Baldwin on the Patrick Bet David show, where he kind of goes into something that is rumored to be happening. Okay, because of course we've seen the whole Epstein situation play out. We still don't know who those folks are, and we still have yet to find out who these Diddy Party folks are. And allegedly they have tapes of it all. But there's something interesting that may be happening with those tapes, and there's also some interesting people who may be on those tapes as well. We'll get into that later in the video. But here's the clip from Mr. Baldwin on the Patrick Bet David show. Let's dive in.
Look at Diddy, for instance. Let's take a look at him. Let's take a look at, he has videos. He has videos of the parties. Now, what I've heard, which I don't know how much of it is in mainstream media, I don't really follow the story that much, but what I've heard from friends that are attorneys, friends of mine that have represented me before, agents and so on, is there's a bidding war going on right now. They're driving that price up because if you want your client and your famous actor to not be involved, or famous singer to not come out, here's the price. And that they're just selling to the individuals that are in those, this is what I heard. They're selling those videos. So if you're Tommy X, and Tommy X is a big, big movie star, and he was at some of the Diddy parties, he was in one of those bedrooms with 3 other men, and he's happily married to a woman, and blah. Tommy doesn't want that video to come out. He does not want it to come out. Same thing for Jeffrey Epstein. Now, the interesting thing about the Epstein and the theory about Epstein is we know he filmed people for sure on that island. He has a lot of movies, a lot of films of people that are very, very powerful political figures, and entertainers, business people. So, do you really believe that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself? Of
course not.
Of course not. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so there's other theories that he's in Lebanon. He never died at all. That having the weight of owning those films right now over people. So will Donald Trump release those films? I believe Donald Trump probably has a lot of friends that are in those videos too. I don't know if it behooves him to release them either. But what happens if iconic African Americans or iconic Japanese Americans or iconic Anglo Americans, former presidents, so what happens if they're in those videos? What does that do to the herding of the sheep? Because I believe that's exactly what we're experiencing.
Yeah. What happens when there's a former president that is on those tapes? Would be quite interesting to see that, wouldn't it? Well, there is a former president that Diddy was a little close with. And, I gotta say, allegedly, okay? Allegedly. This is all alleged, all right? But seems like they were a little close to me.
Yeah, there you go.
Y'all. Thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
Since we applaud you, and I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool. I just want y'all to see everybody I'm interviewing is sweating. I'm not even touching my brow. I'm so cool, and I want to apologize. I ain't trying to make you look bad or nothing like that, but I'm just so cool. We
T-shirt. I tell you, if he was wearing one of those fancy designer clothes he's designing, he'd be sweating just like me.
I don't know. I'm just saying. He was in the footage with them. In the video with them. He was also in a video with somebody else, and it's quite interesting that it's specifically these two people, because these are the two people that a lot of people think are actually, some of the to party elites that are pulling the strings behind the scenes for the Democrat Party? Allegedly.
We're not going to get into sophisticated politics. We're going to talk about a problem that we have in young America. Young Americans being disenfranchised. Only 36% of us have voted. And I wanted you to speak. You're one of the few politicians that young people relate to. And we wanted to just hear the message on why you feel it's important for them to vote this year. Young people that, and please talk to the people that are disenfranchised, that don't believe in the power of their vote.
Well, I really think that this year more than any other, young people have their entire futures at stake. When I go to the floor of the Senate to cast a vote, I'm casting a vote about what the economy is going to look like and what kind of jobs are going to be available, whether there's going to be health care, whether there's going to be good education. Every issue that you can imagine has a direct impact on how every young person watching is going to live his or her life. And so I would hope that this year, more than any other, people would stop and think, hey, do I want to wake up in 5 years and, have more violence in the streets than we do now, more homelessness, more people out of work, kids not even having a chance to get educated, hospitals closing down. This is a direct impact on their lives, and I believe your slogan, vote or die, is accurate.
We're not going to...
Kind of interesting. It's Obama and Hillary. I don't know. There's also somebody else that he was seen getting cozy with. Another politician, of course.
I just wanted to take the time to thank you, Queen Waters, for all that you have done to even make all of those businesses possible.
Oh my God.
It couldn't have been done without you, so thank you.
Thank you so very, very much. Woo!
He seemed a little comfortable doing that, just reaching right over. I don't know. I ain't saying, we got tapes of her, because I don't. I just really don't. But, it is quite interesting that Diddy's former bodyguard says, hey, there were some politicians that were pulling up to those parties. I'm just saying. Here's another one.
Videos have been playing on the Jumbotron for TSX Broadway, and the crowd waited. Then around 11:30, the doors opened for the mayor and the artist.
The bad boy of entertainment is getting the key to the city from the bad boy of politics.
I want to thank y'all for this honor and just recognizing me being from New York, giving me the key to the city. Diddy finally has the key to the city.
Today's event coincides with the release of his
key to the city. Interesting. Quite interesting. But you know what else is really interesting with this whole thing? Now, of course, allegedly there was somebody else. I mean, this stuff is crazy. I guess it's not too surprising, right? Because when you've heard about all of these celebrities at the Epstein nasty island, it's not surprising that some of these same folks would be at a Diddy party. I'm just not shocked that some of these names are popping up of these people who allegedly went to Diddy parties. I'm not surprised. I don't think any of us should be surprised, but there is somebody else that is quite noteworthy that allegedly was involved in some of this. Check it out.
Nobody's talking about the fact that old Kamala Harris has ties to the diddler. And his Howard parties, where a lot of AKAs attended. Maybe they're all ordering pizza again.
If you know the code for pizza, then yeah. Woo. That was Jaguar Wright. That was the that black woman's name there that you saw talking. I forgot she's actually in a famous song in the background. But anyway, she's been dropping a lot of interviews where she said some things and later on they turned out to be true. So I don't know. Maybe old Kamala was pulling up to those parties. Allegedly, of course, allegedly. But I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. Birds of a feather flock together. We've all heard that saying before. So, when you have all of these celebrities that, hang around each other, rub elbows with one another at, different locations and different venues, I'm not surprised that they all allegedly pull up to do some dirty deeds. All right. I'm not shocked. But we do know one politician that, he wasn't very cozy with, that wasn't at the Diddy parties because Diddy actually hated him. But they always say that this guy is the worst thing ever. He's the devil reincarnated, basically, is what the left tries to tell us. And that guy, of course, is Donald J. Trump. We know he wasn't around Diddy.
If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war.
So you heard Diddy there talk about Uncle Trump standing by. They tried to twist his words with the whole stand back, stand by, or whatever statement. But of course, that's what they always do. So we know Trump wasn't there. Diddy hates Trump. So if Trump was on that list, you best believe, and I think it's funny when the people on the left used to try to say that Trump was on the Epstein list and he was at the island. We all know, anybody with two brain cells to rub together knows, if Trump was on any list that involved doing some terrible things, we would know about it instantly. We would have known about it the day after the news broke. Matter of fact, no, we would have known about it the day the news broke. Right? The day that Epstein was caught, we would have knew, oh, Trump's on the list. We would have known it. And somehow, some way of an image of Trump's name with everybody else's name blurred out would have leaked. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. They've gone after this man for anything and everything under the sun. I'm surprised they haven't gone after the man for winning quite yet. I'm sure they will. Oh, you won? Oh no, that's against the law. You won the election? That is against the American Constitution. Like what? Lock this man up. That's impossible. I'm surprised they haven't yet. So it's funny when they accuse him of being on the list, and it's like, really, we would know about it. If he was on the Diddy list, we would know about it. If there was tapes of this man, we would know about it. If anything, it would leak. Right? It would leak somehow, some kind of way. It just slipped out, right? They don't know how the tape got out of Trump at the Diddy party, but it leaked somehow, some kind of way. That's exactly what would happen. We all know that. So we do know one politician that was never involved in any of the BS, and that is the guy that we all voted for, and that will be our 47th president, Donald Trump. Love it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, man, when all of this actually comes out, which maybe it never will, Trump said it will. So I believe him, right? I believe him. And when Mr. Baldwin said that Trump has friends that are on the list, I wouldn't doubt it either. Like I said, I'm sure when you're in that space, that era, you know what I mean? Like, you rub elbows with different folks all the time, So I wouldn't doubt that Trump was friends with some of these folks. Just because you're friends with somebody doesn't mean that you involve yourself in everything that they're involved with. Like, no, that we all know that. Like, come on. But I think he'll do the right thing for sure, and we will get that list come shortly. And there will be a lot of celebrities on that list. Just saying. And some politicians, too. It's about to get real good. Real good. But as always, thanks for tuning in. Peace and love. I'm out.